Pay attention to the young woman behind this bar in downtown Chicago. She is 23-year-old Chloe Parker, a waitress at the upscale Oxford Lounge wearing her black cocktail dress uniform. The timestamp reads 10:47 p.m., April 12, 2024. She's smiling, laughing, serving a man in an expensive business suit at the bar. She writes something on a napkin, her phone number, and slides it across to him. He slides his business card back to her. She picks it up, smiles, and tucks it in her apron. She does not know it yet, but this is the last time she will be seen alive. April 17, 2024, Chicago, Illinois. Chloe Parker had been missing for 72 hours. She had not shown up for her Saturday evening shift at the Oxford Lounge on April 13th, the first shift she'd missed in 18 months. Her manager tried calling, straight to voicemail. She failed to show Sunday, then Monday. Her roommate, Megan Foster, reported her missing Sunday evening. The last confirmed sighting was Chloe leaving work Friday night. Her car was found in her apartment parking garage, locked. Her phone, purse, and keys were missing. Her last text to Megan came Friday at 11:15 p.m. Met someone interesting tonight. Tell you about it tomorrow. No text ever came. Megan tried calling repeatedly throughout Saturday, straight to voicemail every time. By Sunday afternoon, Megan knew something was wrong. Chloe always answered her phone. The case was assigned to Detective Ryan Martinez. Chloe's parents were driving from Wisconsin. Chloe Parker was 23, a waitress at the Oxford Lounge while taking online business classes. Her dream was to open her own restaurant, Parker's Place. She'd been saving money, researching locations, planning menus in notebooks. She wanted to open it by 27, and everyone believed she would make it happen. She was close with her family, parents Susan and Tom, younger sister Natalie. Her roommate described her as outgoing and friendly, but careful about who she trusted. She didn't give her number out to just anyone. Co-workers described her as professional with no known enemies. The Friday shift had been normal. Bar manager Frank Torres saw Chloe talking to a well-dressed businessman for over an hour. They seemed to hit it off. Security footage showed the man left at 11:20 p.m., 10 minutes before her shift ended. But he didn't leave the building. He waited in the parking garage. Detective Martinez reviewed security footage from the Oxford Lounge. At 9:15 p.m., a man entered. Expensive suit, designer watch, leather briefcase. He sat at the bar and ordered bourbon. At 9:32 p.m., Chloe approached. They began talking, both laughing. At 10:15 p.m., Chloe wrote something on a napkin and slid it to him, her phone number. The man slid a business card to Chloe. She read it, smiled, and put it in her apron. At 11:20 p.m., the man paid with a $100 bill and left. At 11:30 p.m., Chloe's shift ended. She exited through the employee entrance. Parking. Garage footage revealed what happened next. At 11:20 p.m., the man walked to parking garage level 2. At 11:23 p.m., he stood near the elevator, waiting. At 11:32 p.m., Chloe exited and walked toward the elevator. At 11:33 p.m., the man approached Chloe as if their meeting was coincidence. They talked for 2 minutes. She smiled, appearing comfortable. Both entered the elevator together. At 11:42 p.m., the man's black BMW sedan exited the parking garage. Chloe was visible in the passenger seat. Chloe's car remained on level 3, the license plate, Illinois DXR 8834. The business card recovered from Chloe's locker read, Marcus Webb, Senior Investment Consultant, Apex Financial Group. Detective Martinez ran the plate. The BMW was registered to Marcus Webb, 38, address in Lincoln Park. But the real Marcus Webb had been dead for 6 months. Someone had stolen his identity. Marcus Webb died in October 2023 in a car accident. His identity was stolen post-mortem. Credit cards, business cards, credentials. Facial recognition identified the man, Andrew Cole Brennan, 41, address in Evanston. Brennan's criminal history, 2015. Stalking arrest, 2017 restraining order, 2019 identity theft charges, 2021 fraud arrest for impersonating a financial advisor. Brennan was unemployed, living off credit card fraud. His pattern? Impersonate wealthy professionals to meet women and defraud victims. Brennan had been using Marcus Webb's identity for 4 months, frequenting upscale bars across Chicago. Chloe wasn't his first target, but Detective Martinez feared she might be his first victim. Detective Martinez obtained Brennan's phone records. Friday night, Brennan suggested dinner in Evanston. Chloe hesitated, suggesting downtown. Brennan pressed, mentioning his place with an amazing lake view. Saturday morning, Chloe texted that maybe they should meet somewhere public first. Brennan quickly agreed to coffee at a cafe near his place. Chloe agreed. He sent Lakefront Cafe, 847 Sheridan Road, Evanston. Saturday at 5:47 p.m., Chloe texted she was on her way. At 6:02 p.m., she texted she was there, parking. No further texts from Chloe. Chloe's phone GPS data showed the rest. At 5:30 p.m., her phone left Chicago. At 6:02 p.m., it arrived at Lakefront Cafe. At 6:15 p.m., it moved 2.3 miles away. At 6:47 p.m., it became stationary at 1247 Elmwood Avenue, Brennan's address. At 9:22 p.m., the phone powered off permanently. She'd gone for coffee. She never left alive. On April 17th, SWAT executed a search warrant at 1247 Elmwood Avenue. Brennan wasn't home. Inside, expensive furniture purchased with stolen credit cards. The kitchen smelled of bleach. Luminol revealed blood in the sink and on the floor. On the dining table, Chloe's purse, phone, keys, and wallet. In the bedroom, blood evidence on carpet. In the bathroom, blood in the shower drain. The garage, plastic tarp with blood stains, duct tape, rope, large suitcase. Brennan's computer showed searches from April 13th, 14. How to see, dispose of body in Lake Michigan. How long does body decompose in cold water? Lake Michigan deepest points. Financial records showed Marcus Webb's stolen cards purchased cleaning supplies, tarp, and rope at Home Depot on April 13th. Brennan had lured Chloe to his house, killed her, and disposed of her body in Lake Michigan. Detective Martinez obtained BMW GPS data. April 13th, the BMW left Brennan's house at 5:55 p.m., arrived at Lakefront Cafe at 6:03 p.m., left with Chloe at 6:18 p.m., returned to his house at 6:22 p.m. At 9:35 p.m., the BMW left again. At 10:17 p.m., it arrived at Montrose Harbor. It remained stationary for 86 minutes. Harbor security footage showed the BMW backing up to a pier. Brennan removed a large suitcase, carried it to the pier edge, and threw it into the water. On April 17th, an arrest warrant was issued for first-degree murder. Brennan's BMW was found abandoned in Gary, Indiana. Credit card activity showed Marcus Webb's card used at a South Bend gas station. Security footage captured Brennan on a stolen Honda Accord. FBI alerted. Interstate flight charges added. April 20th, anonymous tip. A Fort Wayne motel clerk reported a man matching Brennan's description checked in under a fake name, paying cash. FBI and Fort Wayne PD converged. Brennan attempted to flee through a bathroom window but was tackled in the parking lot. In his room, laptop with searches for countries without extradition, $8,400 cash, 3 fake IDs. On April 21st, Chicago PD's Marine Unit searched Lake Michigan at Montrose Harbor. April 22nd at 1:47 p.m., divers located a large suitcase 200 yards from the pier, 22 feet deep. Inside was Chloe Parker, fully clothed in black jeans, light blue sweater, ankle boots, body wrapped in plastic tarp, hands and feet bound with rope, duct tape over mouth. Every piece matched evidence from Brennan's garage. Autopsy performed April 23rd by Dr. Sarah Kimball. Cause of death: asphyxiation due to manual strangulation. Ligature marks on neck. Hyoid bone fractured. Petechial hemorrhaging in eyes. Time of death: approximately 6:30, 7:15 p.m., April 13th. Within an hour of arriving at Brennan's house. Defensive wounds on hands, broken fingernails, bruising. DNA under nails, 99.6% matched to Brennan. Blunt force trauma to head used to subdue her. Toxicology: no drugs or alcohol. She was completely sober and aware. Chloe fought desperately. She scratched Brennan's face and neck, but she was overpowered within an hour of arriving for coffee. Andrew Brennan was extradited to Chicago April 23rd. April 24th, interrogated by Detective Martinez. Brennan waived his attorney. Martinez confronted him with evidence: 47 security cameras, Chloe's belongings in his house, blood evidence, GPS data, her DNA under his fingernails. After silence, Brennan requested a lawyer. Martinez informed him they'd identified 3 other women Brennan targeted using stolen identities. Chloe was the first who ended up dead. If Brennan cooperated, the prosecutor might take the death penalty off the table. Brennan confessed. He met Chloe at the bar, gave her Marcus Webb's card. They texted. He invited her to coffee. She agreed. They met at the cafe, then he suggested going to his place. She got in his car. At his house, he offered wine. She accepted. Then she started asking questions about Marcus Webb. She'd looked him up online. She knew Webb was dead. She figured out Brennan wasn't him. She said she was leaving, calling the police. He grabbed her. She screamed. He covered her mouth. She fought, scratching his face and neck. He dragged her to the bedroom, slammed her head against the wall, put his hands around her throat. It took 6 or 7 minutes. He went to Home Depot, bought tarp, rope, tape, wrapped her body, put it in a suitcase, drove to Montrose Harbor, threw it in the lake, cleaned his house. Why? Because she figured out he wasn't Marcus Webb. She was going to call the police. Trial began August 5, 2024. Judge David Richardson presiding. Prosecution, first-degree murder, identity theft, kidnapping. Defense, second-degree murder. Megan Foster testified Chloe had been excited about meeting someone, then went to Evanston for coffee. That was the last time she heard from her best friend. Detective Martinez testified Brennan used a dead man's identity to lure Chloe. When she discovered his fraud, he murdered her to protect his operation. He strangled her for 6 to 7 minutes while she fought for her life. Dr. Kimball testified Chloe died from strangulation over 6 to 7 minutes. She was conscious for most of it. The defensive wounds proved she fought desperately. Susan Parker gave a victim impact statement. Her daughter had been 23, working hard, dreaming of opening her own restaurant. Brennan murdered her because she was smart enough to see through his lies. He took her baby because Chloe threatened his fake life. Prosecution played bar footage showing Brennan charm Chloe, wait in the parking garage. They played harbor footage showing him throw the suitcase into the lake. They played the confession video where Brennan admitted strangling Chloe for 6 to 7 minutes. Several jurors were visibly emotional. Jury deliberated 7 hours, 33 minutes. August 23rd, verdict delivered. Chloe's family filled the courtroom. Parents Susan and Tom, sister Natalie, roommate Megan. Guilty on all charges, first-degree murder, kidnapping, identity theft. Susan Parker collapsed, sobbing. Tom held her. Natalie broke down. Megan cried quietly. Brennan showed no emotion. Sentencing September 10, 2024. Judge Richardson sentenced Brennan to life without parole for murder, 30 years consecutive for kidnapping, 10 years consecutive for identity theft. Brennan would die in prison. He would never prey on another woman. He would spend the rest of his life exactly where he belonged. Brennan was let out in handcuffs. He never apologized. He never looked at Chloe's family. He never showed remorse. Outside, Chloe's family held each other. Susan held a framed photograph of Chloe, smiling, vibrant, alive. Chloe Parker was 23 years old. She was a waitress with dreams of opening her own restaurant, Parker's Place. She'd been saving money for 3 years, planning menus in detailed notebooks, researching Chicago neighborhoods. She wanted to serve her grandmother's recipes reimagined for a new generation. She was determined to make it happen by 27. She met a man at a bar who seemed charming and successful. She agreed to meet him for coffee because he seemed safe, professional, trustworthy. She went to his house expecting conversation and maybe dinner. Instead, she was murdered within an hour, strangled for discovering the truth about who he really was. She never got to open Parker's Place. She never got to celebrate her 24th birthday. She never got to marry, have children, grow old. She never came home. Andrew Brennan will spend the rest of his life in Illinois State Penitentiary, exactly where he belongs.